Growing up Native means not only honoring myself, but my tradition and my culture and my people, and making sure that it's my responsibility to carry that culture and tradition, so I can now teach my children. Once I have children, they can carry that on through our generations, because our people went through genocide, relocation of land, and so it's my responsibility to really keep that and make sure that I'm carrying those on, so we could still, do our traditions that we still have. And it also means just being who I am as a person. Um, Along with the responsibility comes with trueness to myself. And also just living within today's society, remembering that I just always remember I have those roots and where I come from. There's a lot of stereotypes, for sure. A lot of stereotypes that need to be talked about, just like having us as a mascot or a Halloween costume. And I feel like a lot of the time we're portrayed as Indians that run around with no shoes when that's not it, you know? And it's kind of upsetting to me at a young age hearing that and seeing that so many kids are taught that in schools or from like parents when that's not it at all. I feel like our people should be portrayed as smart and humble people and caring and giving people. We came a long way and we work very hard to where we want to get, along with having, like I said, the responsibility of carrying our traditions. But we're also trying to find a lot of our traditions and come back to our roots, because a lot of it was lost. So when you portray us as, forgotten almost, or not here, it's very upsetting, which we're not, and we're still here today. When people ask me that, I usually tend to say, I like to go back to the work that we do today. Being Native, not only going back to who we are as people, but the work we do. And so, for example, when it comes to me being an advocate for MMIW, which is our Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women, I also like being an advocate for our education being taught and our history being taught into school books. So we won't have that stereotype that kids have on us, because it starts young, and then when they grow up, they know. It starts in the education, and a lot of the times it's taught wrong. So being Native is putting the work in so our next generations can have better lives, to me personally. And then along with that, it's just carrying myself as who I am and remembering what my ancestors and what my mother taught me, what my grandmother taught me, and carrying that, making sure I'm carrying it in the right way. It's not easy, I'll say that, especially because times are moving very fast and you have to keep up, along with carrying our traditions and making sure we're going to ceremony and remembering which way we spin when we walk in or when we come out. And so I would say it's definitely hard, but it's manageable when you grow up just being taught and learning that way, and making sure that we teach our generations and our kids that it's okay to speak about it now. Because at one point we weren't able to speak about it. It was completely banned from being spoke about. We couldn't practice our traditions. So I feel like the main thing now is being able to talk about it and let them know that it's okay for you to talk about it. And so with that, I would mostly say for me personally, it's definitely hard being in ceremony from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. and then having to go to school from 7 to 3. But at the same time, I manage, and I know it's a big responsibility to carry, but it's for a reason and it's for a cause, and it's who I am as a person. One thing one thing I also want to add on is me as a person. I represent a nation within a nation. When you say Native American, I like to consider myself Native first and, American second, because that's just another word that was given when we were colonized. And so that's just going into more like logicistic, history that happened to our people. But I always like to say I'm Native first, And it has nothing to do with being, you know, American or living in today's society, because I know who I am as a person. I always been Native, so there's no, you know, changing that or impacting in a middle way. I would say it definitely made me who the person I am today. It definitely, there's been times where, you know, I've been through very hard times, and my culture is what kept me honestly alive as a person. My culture is what helped me get through a lot. And so there's been times where I've been put inside the classroom with many other kids, and the teacher said, Christopher Columbus found America. And I said, no, he didn't. And I actually got sent to the office because I said that. And it turned into an argument to him when I was like, I was trying to correct you. Times like that, I say, are very difficult to me, because when you're grown up and you're taught a certain way in a certain education from your parents about our history, and then they try to teach you different in schools, it's very hard, especially when you have non-understanding teachers and people. I definitely say that not only the education, what's wrong with that is, like, I'd say that I feel like my place was something that I really fight for growing up Native is for our education, and that's me personally. I fight for the right history being taught. I fight for the right education being taught to our kids. And so that's something that really, I'd say, impacts me when it comes to having to argue with other teachers or other people because they're saying that I'm wrong when I'm not, and I'm just trying to teach the right history. So I feel like that's just one thing personally for me, because I went over about already growing up Native and, you know, being taught my roots and making sure that I carry myself growing up in a certain way. But just, you know, moving aside from that, also now coming in and trying to be that leader and that advocate in today's society. I feel as if now, us Native people, we do a lot. I feel like we have the gatherings and the awareness marches. I feel like it's the media and mainstream that needs to put it out there. We do a lot, and we do organize a lot, and we do come together in big numbers. Even people within the city come together with us. It's about, you know, we do a lot of marketing too. It's the media and mainstream. They show what they want and they show what they don't want. And we try our hardest to get it out there, but I feel like it's not more what we could do, it's what they could do. Because we do so much as people already. We're taking the steps to moving forward. It's just more of, we need more media coverage in mainstream. One missing and murdered Indigenous woman goes missing off our res, compared to a girl that was traveling with her husband and her dog, and they went missing. And it's like, that got so much coverage and so much FBI agents on the case and detectives, compared to, oh, she's missing, there's nothing we could do. And so, just as it comes to our mental health, it's not put as much out there, and our youth are crying for help. And people, they just don't care. And us as a community, we come together and try our hardest. And sometimes that's even enough. Culture is sometimes what you need. But at the same time, I feel like we can get more media and coverage and more of our names to be spreaded out there, and more awareness to our people in general. Because us as people, we have each other, and we know we do. And yeah, that's really all I could say, is we do a lot. And it's just more of, we can get more help though. I'd say it matters because we're still here. And that stigma is put on us that we're not. And so people think they're not here, why should we care? And so I'd say it matters because we're still here, and we're still fighting, and we're still trying to get rid of the stigma and mental health and the genocide that was put on our people. We're taking those steps, but just people need to know that we're still here, and that we come in so many different ways, and so many diverse people. We have California Native, Plains Native, Um, but our California natives, we also do a lot too, and we also need more representation within that way. I'm California native, and it's like people just think natives are supposed to be somewhere else or, in different places, and I'm like, no, we're here. There's reservations just an hour away, and I had somebody tell me, oh, they don't exist no more. Reservations don't exist no more, and I'm like, what? It's crazy. So I think my answer to that would be that we're still here and we're still thriving and we're still living and we're not done and we're not going to go nowhere if it's Last of Us. So I would say the people, definitely. The people, my cousins, my uncles, my aunts, and our humor. Our humor is like the heart of us, literally. Um, I'd say our people are what make us who we are, and our community and our culture make us what we are. Um, we always believed in a circle. We never believed in, another hierarchy or triangle. We always believed in one. And we always believed in to listen to Mother Earth and the plants and the animals. And so I would say the people are really what I look forward to, and our humor and our laughter and how we come together in ceremony and we're able to dance all night and then eat in the middle and all laugh about things and then go back in and dance for another couple hours. And so um, and then having each other outside of ceremony, especially in the 21st century, it's really nice to know and have other people by you that understand your tradition and your culture. And then those who even care, that are non-native, it like warms my heart when people care. I think because social media, a lot of us have access to it ourselves. I feel like it was a big help getting a lot of words out there. Even I will post awareness on my social media account and let people know. And I get a lot of feedback too, so I know I'm doing something good. And it's good feedback, people support. But I feel like it affected us in a good way because we're able to run these accounts and we're able to, get as many followers as we want and let them know, like, hey, this is going on. You should follow up with it and post articles and media and let them know the movements we're doing now. It's a good way to spread, oh, we're having a march, come join us. Or we're having a social gather, come join us. So I feel like it definitely affected us in a good way, like I said. Um, and it's used for so many good things. And it can also be used for negative. And it just depends how you use it really. But it benefited us and our people, definitely. I would tell him, be comfortable and proud of who you are. Whether it's a boy with long hair, telling him to never cut it or let people make fun of you, or if it's a young girl and telling her to always have respect for yourself and remember to carry your tradition and ask questions and learn what our women did. Or if it's a man and, tell him learn what our men did. So I would definitely tell someone or, a young child, be proud of who you are growing up. Don't ever feel ashamed by anybody. Don't ever feel like you have to hide, because we don't have to hide anymore. Because there was a point where we did. I'd tell them to be strong and be who you are, especially in the 21st century. And sometimes it's not going to be easy, but you definitely have to carry those culture and the roots within you. And you have to teach them to, to also to your children, pass that down from when we're gone. These, me personally, I like to wear stuff that I know who it's made by, or know who wears it. These are my mom's earrings. Um, if I like go on a trip or something, or like I'm gonna do something, I usually wear something of my mom's that makes me feel comfortable personally. Abalone, it's abalone earrings, and it's in our tribe. It's what protects us. So it's used as protection when we dance or when we do things. We tend to wear abalone. Um, my pine nuts. This was a necklace that we personally made. I just really like the colors today, and I was really feeling the colors, so I thought I would put it on. I also like wearing pine nuts a lot, so I got lucky finding it. Um, but yeah, the main thing I feel like will really stand out that I love that I wore today was my earrings. I'd say those emotions I like to turn into more physical work and prove people wrong. Um, I like to prove people wrong, not in a way like, oh, I was right, you're wrong. It's more of like, okay, we can't get that main coverage, then I'm going to get it myself, or we're going to get it ourselves, and we're going to show them that we're here. Um, a lot of the time it is upsetting, like I said, seeing our problems being faced and nobody caring. But at the same time, what makes me comfortable is I know that I have a community standing right next to me. And so, like I said, when you have a group of people standing next to you, then you get with those group of people and you collaborate and you come up with ideas and you do things that we weren't able to do before, but now we have the resources and we're using them. So I like to say I like to put my frustrations more out on just turning into something positive and making movements. Because I just felt like being another voice for the youth. A lot of our young, kids or youth don't like to vocalize their voice a lot. So I like to be that advocate and show them like, hey, if I'm doing it, you could do it too. Who knows who's gonna watch this? Who knows who's not? But at the same time, I kind of like to be a representation as well, not only for my people but for the youth. We're the next generation, and so I think it's showing them like it's okay. Like if I could do it, you could do it too. I wouldn't say there's too much to it. Everyone grows up different. Some kids grow up on the res. For me, I grew up in the city, but I also grew up very culturally and traditionally. Um, the only part was I just really had to ground myself and tell myself, I don't have to be embarrassed or afraid, because there was times where I was, and I'm willing to admit that. But I think definitely it's making that progress, and whether you think you do or it's hard for you or not, everyone grows up different. And sometimes it's not hard for everybody. Sometimes it is. It just depends. But if it is hard, you could get through it. If I can get through it, you can get through it. Just remember to always, go back to your ancestors and go back to your roots and your culture. And it's definitely what will lead you. It's personally what helped me through my hardest times, is going back and knowing that I can rely on something. Honestly, when I'm in the res, I feel like it's more harder when I'm in the city, because I visit my family in Ukiah on my reservation all the time. Every big time, or even the chance if we can go visit to the office, we'll go up there and I see my cousins, and it's like like we just never even like lost touch or anything. Um, just that connection is always there. To my aunts and my cousins, it's always there. Compared to when I come back to the city and I'm rocking my hair stick and all beat it up and I'm walking out, it's different, and people ask questions and they say, why is that in your hair? Or sometimes people told me like, oh, that's culture appropriation, and they thought it was another culture, and I'm like, no. And it's definitely just having to teach them like, this is who I am, this is my culture. Because I would more say like I said, I'm native first. And so that's the only thing that I'd say is not hard most sleeping on the reservation. It is different up there, but it's just more different down here. And like I said, there's more people in the city and more comments and judgment that you just really have to be not even strong about, just know who you are, and it won't even be a problem. So that's what definitely I would say about that.